Okay, ready, yay. So, I'm sorry I couldn't be with you yesterday. Um, it's a rough thing. Um, oops. Let me do that. Okay. So, there we are. So welcome. I'm sorry that I could not be with you yesterday. Hi, Robin. It is, even for all the things that I know about the continuity of spirit. Hi, Zanel. Um, you know, Death still sucks. And we've gotten to this place where the beginning of December is kind of brutal around here. So we had the 1 year anniversary passing of my dear friend Stephen. We had the very sudden passing of my friend Chris. And then we had the 2 year anniversary yesterday of my twin flame passing. And so it's been really heavy, a lot of heavy energy, and I just had to honor that yesterday. So I'm sorry that I couldn't be with you yesterday, but I'm so happy to be with you today. And isn't that the marvelous thing about these live things, is that we can just go live whenever we want. So that is so happy. That makes me happy, and so I'm so pleased to be with you. And so I want to just do some questions and answers, and we'll do some cards. And I don't know how long we'll stay today, but I didn't want to let a week go by and not be with you. So we'll pull some cards, and I want to start with some cards for my friend Beth Lloyd. And I'm actually going to write a comment here on the Facebook page, and I'm going to tag her. How come I can't write a comment? We're going to tag her. I hope I can tag her. Let me see. I don't know. No, I don't think it's like me as the business page that I can tag her. Darn it. Well, hopefully she'll see this. If anyone is Facebook friends with Beth, we definitely want to send her, get her tagged. So she had asked a question last week about employment. And I didn't see the comment. We were so inundated with spammers last year. Hi, Sasha. So inundated with spammers that I just could not. Thank you for your prayers. I appreciate that so much. It is a testament. I will say it's a testament to the healing process of time. Last year, when the anniversary came by, I basically just stayed in bed all day. So, it didn't suck any less this year. It just sucks different. So, but that's the healing process of time. We had so many spammers last week that I missed Beth's comment, and she had asked about employment, and I said, let me do some meditation through the week. And we had house guests, and we had all these other anniversaries of passing, and it just didn't happen. And so I do want to make sure, hopefully I will message her if she doesn't see this, but hopefully we'll get Beth on here. And so I do want to just start with the very first thing of pulling some cards for Beth around employment. I do want to also congratulate, who was it last week? That was, we were so excited that she was having a baby in her early 40s, and I told her what the sex of the baby was, and she was so sweet. She texted me while we were, after she had gone to the doctor, to share that she was finding out what the sex of the baby was, and that I was right. And so I was so excited for our friend whose name is going out of my head right now, because there's so many of you, which is so wonderful, and I was just so excited. So I'm hoping that maybe we'll be able to congratulate her today as well. So first, we're just going to pull some cards for Ms. Beth. So if you have questions, if there is something that's going on for you, I know the holidays can be really tough. we're having holidays without our loved ones, and if there are questions that you have or things that I can help with while you have me here today, please don't hesitate. I got to tell you, there's so much that's going on that's in the healing right now. It's like the earth was kind of tipped over, and now it's trying to right itself, which is really interesting. It's a slow process. It's always a slow process, right? We've talked about this before, that energy doesn't just turn on and off like a light switch. But it's interesting to watch that we're seeing the earth, and especially in I want to say especially in the United States, but really in so many countries, we've had this sort of tilt. And I'm leaning to the left, but I'm not trying to be left or right, but that we've just sort of had this, we've been off kilter for a while, and now we're starting to see it come back straight. And people are, it's interesting because some people are still continuing to bury their heads in the sand, and that will always be the case. You will always have people who are going to deny climate change, going to deny that we're all energetically connected. They're going to deny things like, we're all the same inside and that love is love. And they're going to deny all these things because change makes people nervous. At the same time, we have people that are really opening up and saying, well, wait a minute, we are maybe going too far in the wrong direction and we need to do some course correction. And you can feel the rumblings of the earth that people are really trying to get grounded and understand what that means. And the pandemic has really woken people up. And so people have either had, one of two reactions. And one reaction is, I am going to hold on to what I know to be the way things were, and I want to go back to the way things were, and I'm going to hold on to that, and I'm going to fight for that as much as I possibly can. Or you have people who are like, well, this is all happening to completely shake things up and to change us and move us out of the way things were and move us away from the way things have always been, right? And so when we have the people who are really waking up and understanding this is a time of change, this is the time of shift, we start to see this kind of righting of the ship. But if you've ever watched, I had a friend, years ago I had a friend who was a naval architect, and he told me there was a hurricane that was coming to New Orleans where he lived and worked, and there was a boat that his ship he was working on, and the ship wasn't finished, it wasn't seaworthy, it wasn't waterproof, and I said, what are you going to do with this hurricane that's coming? He says, oh, we're going to sink it. I said, what? He said, oh yeah, we're going to just sink it. I said, oh, okay. And so they weren't going to completely submerge it, but they were going to put it down under the water level, like, several feet, so that it would be steady. The water would hold on to it, and it wouldn't tip over, and it wouldn't float away, and it wouldn't get washed out to sea, and all these things. So the water would weight it down and would really hold it in place, and it was basically like the hull. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's an ingenious idea, because it's not, they had no walls or carpets or anything that would be water damaged. It was just metal. And so they sunk the ship down, under more deeply than if you've ever seen, oil tankers. They have a red line at the bottom. You can see if the red line is above the water, then it's empty. And if the red line is below the water, then it's a full tanker. And so more than that, hi Mary, we wave back. So more than that, they sunk it more. So they sunk it about, about halfway up the side of the ship. So it was really more than what it would normally, have been. And then after they, the storm passed and they were ready to bring the boat out of the water, and it took like a week or like hours and days that they really had to like pump it very slowly to keep the pressure on the boat so that the hull wouldn't crack. And they had to go very slowly with electronic, bilge pumps and things to really lift the boat back up out of the water. And then they had to sit out in the sun to let it dry. And, they had to get in there and make it all, so that it would be safe and no mildew, that they could start working on it again. And I just thought this was so ingenious. And it really is one of the things that I think we're seeing in our society, is that we really have had this pandemic and this political shifting and things where we really just sunk the boat down into the water, and we're like, okay, this is a storm. We've got to weather this storm and how we're going to get through it. And now as we're coming back up out of it, it's like, okay, we've got to make sure we're not going to tip over, or we've been tipped over and now we've got to come back up. But it takes time. It's slow. But it's so amazing to see so many people that are really opening up their eyes to say, life can be different. I want life to be different. I want my family to be different. I want myself to be different. My career, my vocation, how I spend my time, who I spend my time with. You know, I was talking to another friend who said, you know, we had a mutual friend, and for a relationship that I chose to step away from. And they said, you know, do you ever, you know, is that still that way? You're not going to try and fix it. You're not anything. And I said, no, I'm not going to try and fix it. I mean, I spent a lot of time trying to fix it. And it really is healthier for everyone to not. And so, you know, you've heard me say it, with lots and lots of genuine love in my heart for her and her whole family. I love you over there. I love you. I wish you only love and blessings and only joy and happiness over there, not in my space. And that's okay. And so we're seeing people step up and make different choices. And if you're listening, you know, to any of the different news outlets, they talk about all the different, like, this is the great resignation, right? People are walking away from jobs they don't want. They are walking away from jobs that don't serve their highest and best purpose. They are walking away from people, from jobs that are just taking advantage of them. People have had enough. And the pandemic has really opened our eyes, and people are wanting now something more. And I love that, because we have the power to create something more. And we have so much of that inside of us in our own energy and how we choose to show up in the world. And so this is really, you know, where we are, is how do you choose to show up in the world? How do you want to choose to show up in the world? And as we go forward, as we come into this last piece of this year to move forward into the new year, and next year is going to be so cool, because you've got, you know, 2022, lots of tools in there, and lots of great journey stepping forward, and lots of support. And so how do you want to show up in the world? And how do you want to show up in the new year? What is it you want to bring to fruition? And what is it that you're ready to leave behind in this 2021 year? And I'll tell you that valuing self-care has definitely been a higher priority, and valuing my heart space and choosing to show up to the things that are important to me, that bring me joy and peace and blessing, and not show up to the things that bring me aggravation or you know, unrest or anxiety, to let those things pass. Because you know what? Those events are going to happen without me being there, or, you know, with or without me. So if I'm there, you know, great. If I can add to it and be a blessing, then fantastic. But if it's something that's going to drain me, or, you know, not be in my highest and best interest, it is okay to say no. And so I pass this on to you, that especially as we're in the holiday time, it is okay to say no. It is okay to show up for a period of time. Sometimes I get it, especially in the holidays. There are holiday things that where you just don't really have, you got to be there. And if you can be there, you got to be there, and I totally understand that. But we can put those protections in place. We can use crystals. This is my selenite crystal that I keep on my desk that I love. It was given to me and filled with energy from very, very dear friends, and so I keep it on my desk all the time, so I can just grab it anytime I need. So we can do things to protect ourselves, and at the same time, we can put things into place where we say, okay, I'm going to come and show up and be part of this event for X amount of time, and as soon as I reach X amount of time, or I reach a feeling in my body, I know it's time for me to go. And to be able to put those safety mechanisms in place, those boundaries in place for you ahead of time. You don't necessarily have to share that with other people involved, except maybe your partner. And just to be able to say, this is my boundary. I want to spend time with these people. I don't want to spend time with these people. Whatever it is, that you're putting those boundaries in place so that you can feel safer and more secure as you go into these family gatherings, because they can sometimes be very overwhelming with lots and lots of energy. We had friends in had a friend staying with us for 10 days. She was here. So thrilled to have her here. She needed to come to a safe place, and I was so honored that she chose, felt like that was here. But because she was here, we had all these other friends that came in to visit because she lives far away. And so all these other friends and relatives of hers and family that we all know all these people in common, and they all came in to visit her, which was so wonderful. And at the same time, there were places where I was like, okay, I need to just step away. And so I would just go and take 15 minutes out of that space so I could be, so that I could, protect my own energy. So you can do those things. Go for a walk outside, especially if it's not 20. Do those things. Make sure you have a plan in place for your protecting your energy before you get to the family gatherings next week, okay? So we'll have that. All right, Mary wants me to talk to her, so I'm going to keep my commitment to Miss Beth, and we're going to do a little bit of energy around Beth Boyd and her job employment information she had asked me for last week that we missed it, so I want to make sure she's first. Mary, I would love to talk to you. Please tell me what your question is. So please, folks, if you want to ask a question, I would love it. Ask me a question like, what do you see coming up regarding a certain subject? Or don't ask me, big open-ended questions if you've got a specific question. And especially if you want to ask a question about how to use cards, or how do you listen to your intuition, or how do you connect with spirit. But if you have a question that is something specific about, what's going on with you, let me know. So not open-ended questions like, I'll take any message. Then you're going to get what you get. Okay, so for Mary, we're going to talk about Mary. So Mary, and it's interesting, and I'm going to tag Mary in this again because I want to make sure she sees this. So this is the first card that came up, was transformation, and it's so interesting because when I did try and get into meditation for her through the week, I kept seeing a job interview. I kept seeing a job interview that was something really different, that would take her in a totally different direction. And I really feel like that is an opportunity for her to open up and see herself in a different way. And so for Beth, I want to encourage you to really consider applying for other jobs, or opening your heart to other opportunities where you could use your skills in a different way. Because I think sometimes we get into this box of like, okay, I work retail, so I know how to do this. But you know what? If you worked in that job, you probably have, office skills, you probably have organizational skills, you probably have, people skills and leadership skills and things, so that could be applied somewhere else. So please, as you are going forward, for all of us, it's good advice that if you're going forward, as you're going forward in a new job search, because there's a lot of that going on, take the skills that you have and assess yourself fairly, and be able to see where else you can apply yourself, because you may find that your true home is in a totally different field from where you have spent time. So you don't have to bloom where you're planted. You can be like a dandelion and blow on the wind and find yourself a new space. Oh, Beth, you're here. Beth, you're here. That's wonderful. Because here's the second card that I pulled for you, Beth, is Pillar of Light. So the first card was transformation, and then the second card was Pillar of Light. And because I didn't want you to think I forgot about you, because I did not. But Pillar of Light, because you have light, and you have radiance, and you have caring, and you have intelligence, and you have so much to offer. But I really do see you potentially moving from this field that you've always been into a totally new field, that where you would still be able to bring your intelligence and your organization and your leadership skills to help and bless a different company and totally different industry. So as you are looking for jobs, to be able to look for something that is maybe what you wouldn't consider applying for normally. And so throw your hat in the ring and see what happens. Broaden the search. I love that saying of like, you throw the spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. I want you to throw a big handful of spaghetti, because I think that you are, I feel like you're looking in this narrow scope, but you have abilities and qualities that could bless so many other companies, so many other opportunities. So broaden that scope, make it a big handful of spaghetti, and see what sticks. All right, my friend Mary. Mary is struggling. Mary is struggling. What can we do to help Miss Mary? Let's see. Oh, Mary has some heartbreak. You are welcome, my friend Beth. Mary has like pain in your heart. There's frustration there, and there's also there's some depression there as well. So Mary, we're going to send you a lot of love, first of all. Second of all, we're going to This is the card I pull for Mary. This is the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. You've been training for this for lifetimes. So Mary, I feel like that there's a calling on your heart to reground yourself and plant your feet and stand up stronger. I feel like you have been carrying the weight of everybody on your shoulders, and you are withering under the weight. And I want to really encourage you to put self-care, but also to really, and I have this like, we just finished rewatching The Mandalorian the other day, and at the end they have the dark droids. They're these big black robots, and they would take steps and they go chung chung, right? And I hear that chung chung in my head, and I want to give that to Mary. Not that you're a dark droid, but I want you to plant your feet like that, just chung chung, and I want you to stand up straight, because they do that. They just stand up and they roll up the spine and they stand up. And I feel like part of what I was talking about before about the boundaries and setting those healthy boundaries is aiming at Mary, to be able to say, setting those healthy boundaries and being able to create a bubble of space, because sometimes we just get so pushed in with everybody wants something and everybody's all over, around us, that we need to create this bubble of space. And once you have this bubble of space, then you can breathe, and you can just and you can breathe in the light. And you can find your place where you can plant those feet and really feel that energy of Mother Earth coming up. Because Mary, I feel like there's sadness that's in your heart, and I feel like you've been carrying it for a long time. And I want you to really ask yourself, is it time for me to carry this burden in a different way? And the reason I'm saying this is because I feel like that this is coming into my head, because this has been what's been coming in for me for the passing of my twin. It is still grief. It is still grief. And it is still painful. And I still miss him every day, and I still talk to him every day. But at the same time, I have learned to carry that pain in a different way. And I'm not feeling like it's the loss of a loved one around Mary that's causing this struggle, but I do feel like that same kind of thing is that weight of it can be just so oppressive and sink you down into it. And so I want to encourage you to consider how you're carrying your load, because it may be that it's time to put down some of those things that have caused pain and anger and frustration, and it may be that it's no longer serving your best good to be able to be carrying all these things that we carry, pain and anger and frustration and obligation and all of that I literally cannot talk to you right now. I love you. Goodbye. I'm so sorry. My son is home from college. He's trying to talk to me. And so we carry all these things, and sometimes I think we forget that we're carrying them because we've carried them so long. And so we forget that we're even carrying them. And so, Mary, I really want to encourage you, because this card tells me you are stronger than you are giving yourself credit for. You are stronger than you think. And that it is about setting those boundaries, and it is about reevaluating how we choose to show up in the world. Because even so, as someone who battled massive depression, to be able to have a moment of clarity, to be able to say, I think I want to try and move forward today. And that in itself was a choice that led to, I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to allow myself to be around people. I'm going to eat vegetables or take vitamins, things that would help elevate my mood, help balance my mood, and allow the positives to come in. When we struggle, sometimes it becomes so dark that we just can't even see a glimmer of light to even know which way to go. And so I'm sending you so much love, Mary Kearney, and so much encouragement to be able to move yourself forward, even if it's just as simple as starting to take a walk or starting to take a vitamin supplement like holy basil or B6 that will help regulate your moods and help that those hormones to balance out a little bit. And so I pull this other card for you, Mary, and it says birthing a new age, because I really feel like you are in this chrysalis, in this place of chrysalis, of transformation, of this is the age of light, and you are birthing a new age. And so I feel like there is definitely a new Mary that is coming out, but it's going to take some time. And coming out of those chrysalis, coming out of the cocoon, we have seen it with caterpillars. A, it's not easy. B, it's a choice. C, you got to fight your way out. And D, then you learn how to fly. So Mary, I'm with you. I know you can do it. And I'm sending you so much love. No, it is your transformational time. It is your transformation. Claire. Don't talk and breathe at the same time. Hi, Louise. Welcome. Oh, Claire, my heart breaks for you. It is never a thing where a parent should bury a child. It is just such a difficult, oh my goodness, my heart breaks for you. You are so justified in feeling that sadness, my new friend. I'm so sorry that your son is so ill, and we pray for his peace, and I pray for your peace. I don't know what his prognosis is, because that has so much to do with his choices, his decisions. I sat with a woman this morning who had lost her husband, and really had said, she felt like he chose to check out and wanted to know why. And so for you, Claire, I'm not sure if your son is going to choose to stay or not, but what I want to say to you is that, first of all, you'll be in all of our prayers, because it's a hard road that you're on. But I want to encourage you to keep in mind that before he was born to you, and before you were born to your parents, the two of you came together in a soul contract that said, I will go first, and I will come down to the earth, and I will be the mother, and you will come after me. And I know that you are going to leave me, and I agree to hold that space for you, because I know that that's what your soul is here to experience. And so I know that will be hard, but I love you so much that I will agree to hold that space for you. And so you are on you are on that path with him, because that is something that you all agreed to hold that space. It does not make it easier. It does not. Knowing that this is part of his journey and part of yours does not make it suck less. So I wish there was something that I could say to you to make it easier, but there isn't. What I can say to you is, we know through mediumship, we know the power of spirit. We know that he will not be gone, even if his physical body is not here. The woman I sat with this morning, I had never met her before, which is usually the case, and it was such an amazing experience to be able to get to know several members of her family, including her spouse who had passed recently, and to watch him learning how to communicate with me and with her while we were talking. So he is, I totally understand that he is your rock, but he will be your rock. He will just be in a different form. He will never not be your rock, my friend. He will always be there for you. It will just be a different way of communicating, and we learn that. We, as the loved ones left behind, we learn to open our hearts and open our minds to receive the information and receive those signs and signals and winks that they send to us. We learn to receive that, but he will always be with you, and he will still be your rock. He will just be in a different form. He's going back to energy, which is where we all come from. And in the meanwhile, I will continue to pray for you, and I wish I had something better to say to you that would make it magically better. But in a situation like that, there just isn't. But I will pull a card for you, and I want to tell you, this is the card that says, don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? And what this tells me, Claire, is that you need to be the light for him as he makes this transition or wherever his path is taking him. And at the same time, I feel like you have so much strength to be able to share with others who are going to go through the same thing, because in the end, we're all going to leave this body. And so, Claire, I feel like there's also information there for you about finding a support group of parents and being able to be a light for them, and also to have them be a light for you as well. So there is so much support coming your way from the universe and from the people around you. Oh my goodness, let's see. Michelle has asked for career news, and then we're going to talk with Louise about hi Tracy Zant. Hi honey, happy holidays. So nice to see you. Louise from Australia. Oh my goodness, so much heavy things. I'm going to law about your thought. I think, you know what, Louise, I am all for reporting sexual misconduct, especially against violence against women and especially against children. And so you have my 100% support. And I love your country, but you have my 100% support of going to report your father. And it is the most vile crime that can be committed, in my personal opinion, is violence of a parent against a child in that way. And I am sending you so much love and strength and wishes for courage and for a good result. Please make sure you have a strong inner circle around you, so that you're not blindsiding your family and you're not being blindsided. Know where your support can come from. And here's the card that I pulled for you, Louise. It says answer the call. Answer the call. So it is a very appropriate time for you. Where is your soul calling you? What is your soul calling you to do? And your soul is calling you to justice, and your soul is calling you to walk this path of strength. It is going to take a lot of strength and courage for you to walk this path, my friend. And I think that you are ready to do it. And I feel like this is your time. It is not an easy path that you choose. However, the path that you have been on, because of this violence that was perpetrated on you, is not an easy path. And you deserve healing and you deserve peace. Do not attach yourself, if I may say this, do not attach yourself to the outcome of justice. Attach yourself to the outcome of shedding this energy, the energy of being victimized, the energy of being perpetrated against, the energy of anger and resentment and fear and rage, all of these things. Walk this path to free yourself, rather than walking this path to incarcerate someone else. Let the universe work out his karma and his debt, but you walk this path as a way to free yourself. There is shame that is here about this, and this goes to you're asking me about your pop, the grandfather. So there is a lot of shame that is with that, and I feel like that is coming from this side, from the other side, and so I will. I feel like you have support from the spirit side to stand in this place, but I want to tell you it's going to take strength and courage, and there's going to be people who are going to stand against you that you think would stand with you. So be prepared for that. But I do feel like that there is strength from the other side that's coming in to support you through your grandfather, because there is so much shame about, I didn't raise my son to have that happen, or there's a lot of shame there, and I feel like that there is a desire to help you move forward. But again, it's not a desire for revenge, and it's not a desire to exact justice. It's a desire to help you be free. It's a desire to help you step forward to release these chains that you have been carrying for all this time. So I'm pulling one more card for you, and this is, I love this, Louise. This is Akasha, and it says down here at the bottom, your guidance is divinely guided. It says your guidance is divinely guided. So I hope you can see that, because this is really confirming for me that you are being supported from the other side. So again, please go forward from a place of strength and conviction and of healing self, rather than a place of revenge and rage to harm others. And I feel like you will have a positive, it's not going to be easy, but you'll have a more positive outcome. Because in the end, it's about freeing yourself more than anything else. And I will be praying for you, my friend. Totally praying for you. All right, we passed somebody. Hello, my friend Tracy. And it was, Louise said she was going through a rough time. We talked about that. Michelle. I don't want to miss Michelle. So Michelle Krantz asked for information about career information. So we're going to shuffle and we're going to tap into Michelle's information. And oh, Michelle, I feel like I'm looking at a woman in a power suit. I feel like I'm looking at a woman in a power suit, and I have this desire to talk to you about breaking free and branching out onto your own. I hope you're still with us. I feel like I want to talk to you about branching out onto your own, into your own. You are welcome, Louise. About stepping out into your own space. So, Michelle, is there an opportunity for you to step into an independent situation where you could run your own show or run your own department or something? I feel like I'm looking at this woman in a power suit that is time for you to step out on your own. So here's the card that pulls up for you is play. Okay, play. And this is have fun, celebrate, and don't be so serious. And this is upside down, which is in the protection position. This is a reminder for us to don't forget to have some fun, especially this time of the year. This is a reminder, Michelle, to don't forget to have some fun. I feel like with this power suit, we may be taking everything very seriously. Everything is life and death, and we want to, there you are, hello, and we want to really bring in not just the fun of it, but the joy of it. And I feel like there is some feeling about stepping away from this box that your career path has put you in, and stepping out to more independent, or to be in a higher position, or more even. It's not even a higher position that I feel. It is. It feels like this opportunity to step away and be independent. Like you're an employee right now, and then maybe to be able to open your own company, or to be an independent contractor that gives you more freedom and allows you the opportunity to play. And so this is where I feel like that is, and I'm going to pull one more card for you. Oh my. So Michelle, the second card I pull for you, it says, trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Oh my. So I feel like if you have been thinking about the time to step out into a new space and really spread your wings, this is definitely a good time to get those ducks in a row so that you can launch in January. So, or even February feels good. But this is definitely the time to start really thinking about that, and how do I want to go forward, and where do I want to fit that in, and what do I want that to look like for me so I can have more work-life balance, and I can welcome some more play into my heart, into my life, because that thing that you're feeling in your heart, that flutter and that butterfly in your stomach that's making you feel like, oh my God, could I really do this? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. The answer is yes. Okay, so I really want to encourage you to trust that niggle and really allow yourself to feel like, what can this look like different? How can this look different? So that you're looking at it right now and you're able to step into that in January or February of the new year. I do feel February feels really comfortable for me. So I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you. All right, so let's go back. Let's see. Zanelle. Hello, Eve from Denmark. That's good evening from Eve. Eva, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, Zanelle says, I've been told that I'm a healer. I had dreams about it, but don't know what kind of healer I am or what to do. Okay, so that's fantastic. For you also, trusting the niggle, Zanelle, is to be able to say, I feel like I'm called to be a healer, and what speaks to you? So here's for me, my husband is amazing. He is a pranic energy healer, and he really was called into pranic energy healing. Here's me over here. I have signed up for a Reiki class to take Reiki 1 like 6 different times, and every single time I sign up to take it, something happens and I have to cancel. Every single time something happens. I got a scheduling conflict, somebody got sick, I had to go out of town. Literally every single time something has come up that I have had to cancel Reiki. So am I supposed to go take a Reiki class? That is clearly not the path for me. And so where else are you called? So if you are a healer, go sign up for a class. investigate healers in your area. There are so many types of healing. There's Reiki, there's pranic energy healing, there is cranial sacral, there is healing touch, there is so many different kinds of healing. If you also follow our group of psychics and mediums and healers called Psychic Squares 2021, if you're also in that group, you can connect with Elizabeth Wild, who is a mentor in that group, and she's amazing. She was, I think, healing touch. She's a healing touch master and instructor, and so that may be some place for you. And so Zanelle, really the thing to do is just get in the game. So sign up for something. I really felt like I was supposed to sign up for something with healing and with the Reiki class, and it, Spirit kept pushing me away. So I understood, I got the hint, I'm not supposed to do that. So check out and see what it feels like, because I'll tell you, every time I tried to sign up for Reiki, it was sort of this like feeling like I should be doing that. I should have this knowledge. And then it was like, nope, you shouldn't. And it always felt wrong to me, but I kept signing up anyway, and the universe kept saying, nope. So really just allow yourself to put your feet in the water, reach out to some healers, see what kind of classes, maybe read up on their website for what kind of healing that they do, and how does that feel like for you, and follow where you're led. Follow where you're led. And just because you've been told that you're a healer and you have those abilities does not mean you are mandated to put out a shingle and start having a healing business. Sometimes we just need that education for our own soul self-satisfaction. So we have the information for ourselves, because that way we can use it to help others, but it doesn't mean you're required to make a business out of it. So please don't feel pressure as well. Eva says that she tried touch healing in Denmark and it didn't work. And so thankfully, Reiki and pranic energy healing, at least, are no touch healing modalities. So I don't know a lot about the other ones, to be honest, and so they may be more touch modalities. I know that Reiki and pranic energy healing are no touch modalities. So, but Zanelle, see where you feel called and see where you're being pulled. And I'll tell you something, really, once you open your heart to say, all right, I'll check out something. What am I supposed to check out? You're going to get emails. You're going to get people that friend requests, or stuff's going to just pop into your lap that is going to be like, oh, well, that's where I guess I'm supposed to go next. So trust spirit as it goes. But I'm going to pull a card for you anyway. And this is Unbound, Releasing Soul Patterns, Contracts, and Past Lives. So this is just that reminder that you are okay to follow this path, and that this is going to you're safe. Okay, so you are unbound. You are releasing these preconceived notions that you have, and so don't let what somebody else told you should be doing. Follow your heart to what feels right for you. But you are safe in this path. I want to be clear with that. You are safe in this path. So, all right, we're going to move to Eva from Denmark. This is so exciting. Eva from Denmark. Well, thank you very much for coming, Eva from Denmark. We're going to pull a card for you as well. And you didn't ask me a specific question, but let's see what's going on. And is there anybody else that wants a question? Otherwise, I'm going to make Eva the last one. My son has been trying to wave me down, so we're going to, I'm so happy to have him home for Christmas for 6 weeks. So exciting. Oh my, a whole bunch of cards just jumped right out. So Eva, this is a card that pops right out for you. This is Mirror. It says who or what is triggering you. So Eva, this is the Mirror card, and this is just a reminder to really take a look at the things that are going on around you, because we are so quick to say, why is this happening to me? And the Mirror card reminds us that this is not happening to you, it's happening for you. So we really want to be able to say, oh, nope, there you are. There you go. Psychic Tarot, you're going to be blocked. Bye. I was just literally thinking to myself that that this is that wasn't it so nice that we were not having any spammers today, and then they showed up. But all spammer comments are deleted and all spammers are blocked. So if you continue to comment Psychic Tarot, you just know that you will be blocked and you won't be able to come back. And all of these things will be deleted. So thanks so much. So Eva, I want to say, Zanelle, you're so welcome. So Eva, I want to remind you that this is, the Spirit is trying to say to you, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And that was a card that literally just jumped out. So it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So what is going on? When we get into those places, I really look at the situation. I say, okay, what is it you're trying to show me? Because you're really starting to piss me off. What is it that you're trying to show me? What am I supposed to be learning from this? And ask yourself that question. Spirit will support you in that. And here's the next card for you is Warrior Woman. So please remember that you are strong. You are strong. You are a badass warrior woman. And it says, have you answered your deepest calling? So really what the mirror is trying to get you to see, Eva, is really trying to show you, what is available to you, that there is an expansion for you, and to let Spirit come into your life, because all of the things that are going on for you is things that are trying to get you to open your eyes more, get you to open your eyes more. So just keep the faith. You are not alone, and Spirit is there to support you. So, all right, let's see. And Psychic Tarot is just trying to get everybody to answer. So we're going to just block all those comments. And thank you all so much for ignoring them. And please do not friend request this person, because anybody that's doing spammy stuff like that, you definitely don't want them as your on your friends. So last thing, we have Sherry that came in and she says, I feel like I'm blocked. Can you tell me why? So let's see what's going on with that, and then we'll make that our last. So Sherry snuck in right under the wire. Sherry, what's going on with you? Let's see. Oh, goodness, Eva, I'm so sorry. Oh, Tracy's still here. Hello, Tracy. Did you have a question, my love? It's so good to see you, too. I miss your face. All right, so we have, where are we? Did I just pull this card? Sherry, there we are. Okay, so I pull this card, Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, and Teacher. So Sherry, is it possible that you are feeling blocked because you are not listening to, no, Claire, these people are not legitimate. Please do not friend these people, okay? Anybody that goes through and comments on every person that it is participating in our group that says, friend me for a reading or DM me for a reading, these are all scammers. So Claire, please do not friend any of these people. These comments will be deleted and blocked. Please do not send them any of your friend requests. They'll just get in there. Oh, look, here's another guy. So we're going to end really quick, because once we start getting overwhelmed with spammers, it's just time to go. But remember, they will all be blocked. So Eva, I'm so sorry that your boyfriend was unfaithful to you. But as I'll tell you, ask, why is it happening? Like, what is Spirit trying to tell you? What lesson are you meant to learn from this? Because you are stronger than you think. So here we have for Sherry. Here we have for Sherry, Sisterhood of the Rose. So Sherry, what I want to encourage you to do is connect in with some people that, to let your friends in, to let your family in. Choose wisely, but let people in, because I feel like that part of this block is that you're cutting off your energy from those that are around you that will help you to feel energized and to feel connected and to help you to move forward. But the other thing is allow yourself to ground. So I feel like you may not be connecting in the Spirit. Maybe you're not grounding, connect to the earth, do some meditation. But I feel like you have a lot of potential that's in there. But I do feel like where you're being stuck is because you're closing yourself in. Now, I get that we've been in this pandemic and we're all sort of disconnected. So we have to choose more consciously to be out and to connect with our friends. And so choose your friends to the people who can be in your inner circle and allow yourself to connect your energy in them so that you have a little bit of a lifeline. We need energy to go back and forth so that we stay connected and we stay energized. We don't just put gas in the tank and go. We need to continue to connect with others that motivate us and that love us and that fill our tanks. We fill our tanks by connection with other humans. So this others is, it came in upside down in the protection. This says dance with life. This is a reminder to do something to change your energy, which is literally just what we just said, is do something different to change your energy so that you are connected with other people who can help fill up your cup. Do things that can help fill up your cup. Okay, maybe volunteer, donate to charity, spend some time out in nature, something that will help fill up your cup. That really helps us to help unblock. And then also I would look at your vitamins. I'm hearing also, I'm feeling it come in with like nutritional supplements that you may be a little out of balance with your hormones or just need a little nutritional supplements as well. So, okay, let's see. Tracy, I worked on releasing a person on full moon and they came back. What does that mean? Well, you know, it may mean that you were not either fully ready to release them, or it may just mean that they were not fully ready to release you. A lot of times if we have energy vampires, if the person was an energy vampire, which kind of feels like maybe it was, that was trying to suck off the energy for you, and that when we cut those cords and we release that, if we unplug from ourselves and we don't put that end of the cord into something else, they're like, oh, wait a minute, I came unplugged from Tracy, I got to plug back in. So it's important to be able to to take that cord and put it to the earth, or we take the end of that cord once we unplug it from ourselves and we put it back to the light, to source, so that the energy is still feeding the other person, so they don't really understand that we've been disconnected. So we can cut a cord, but that cord can come right back. But if we cut that cord and we take the end of it and we put it to the ground or we put it to the light, then they're still getting that feeding, and it's just not coming from us. So Tracy, maybe it might be worth it to try again and ask yourself, why do you think that they came back? And ask yourself, what is it that they want? And really to be able to be very firm in your desire to release them. And that means taking action. That means deleting and blocking and all those kind of things. But also it means making sure where you're putting that end of that cord. Once you're cutting that cord, where are you putting it? All right, so we're going to pull a card for Tracy, and it says, Mintonkin, this is longing for home, belonging, and be the original light workers. So this is a reminder, Tracy, to ask Spirit to come in and work with you so that when you are cutting that cord, that you are having that support with you. So when we cut a cord, we leave that space in our body. You've got to fill that in with light. We want to fill in with light so that we're bringing in, we're not opening that, having empty space like a Swiss cheese so that another negative spirit or negative energy can come in. So we want to make sure if you're cutting that cord that we are plugging it back in somewhere else and we're refilling back in with light, so we reinflate our spirit so that we keep ourselves protected and we're pushing out. We're not leaving a space for energy loves a vacuum, hates a vacuum, so it's going to come in and refill into that space. So all right, Irma, oh my heavens, you are welcome. Irma, align your life. Irma, what's going on? Are you not aligned? Who are you not listening to? Irma, who are you not listening to? Ooh, I take that back. Irma, who are you listening to that you need to stop listening to? So Irma, I want to say to you to take a little bit of time to look at what is going on for you. Of whose voice are you listening to that you're not listening to your true self? Irma, I feel like I want to direct you to say, what is it that I truly want in my heart? What do I want in my heart? And then follow that path, and the heck with what everybody else has to say. You do you, girl, because I really feel like that there is an influence that's coming onto your path that is coming from somebody else that is not. I want you to really tune into what it is that your soul is calling you to do and not be listening to the guidance of other people. Okay, one more card for Irma, and that is share your voice. This is upside down in the protection post that is saying that is reminding you that you're not sharing your voice and that your voice is important. So make sure that you are being heard for what you want and what you want to manifest in the direction you want to go in, because I feel like you're listening to other people's voices and you're not listening to your own. All right. We're going to call it there. We went a whole hour today, so I'm so happy to be with you all. Join me on Thursday for meditation, 7 o'clock. I really look forward to being back with you. I'm not sure what we're going to do about Christmas week, so stay tuned for announcements on that. And in the meanwhile, I hope you all have a wonderful, fabulous, joy-filled week. Don't get stressed out about the holiday. And please, as always, know how very much you are loved. Mwah.